This is a guy that can ball. It's just that he wasn't Nick Chubb. What I find myself, Shannon and RC, fantasizing about is what are they going to be next year when Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb are back? That's going to be something to behold from Cleveland.
Well guys, I know I just made a video about this team, but I want to start doing it consistently because you guys have been loving them. And as we start to approach the end of the season, the Cleveland Browns are in a very good position to make it to the playoffs, and they're going to be playing with house money. So literally anything can happen. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the plays and schemes that Kevin Stefanski has run under Joe Flacco and how they have been so effective. And I'm also going to be talking about a player that never gets enough praise for what he does, who finally had a big game with 2 touchdowns. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. And your support truly does mean everything. Alright, so starting off with David Njoku, like I said earlier, he's a guy that doesn't get talked about much outside of the news reporters in Cleveland, and in my eyes, he's becoming a top 5 tight end in the game. And it's not just because of stats, it's because of everything he does on the field as a whole. He kind of started off the season slow, but that was to be expected with inconsistent and different QB play almost every single week. And now that an experienced quarterback in Joe Flacco is behind center, he has quickly developed a connection with him, and those play action rollbacks that Kevin has been calling every now and then have been absolute beauties. And whenever the run game is working, you can pull those out a few times a game and they almost work every single time. And that's exactly how Njoku scored the Browns' first touchdown of the game against the Jags. He got completely wide open and was able to walk in for 6. I know I criticized Stefanski a lot early on this season, but my eyes are starting to be open to the fact that he's really not that bad at all. He cost this team a few wins with his inability to run the ball late in the game, but at the same time, he has won them games that they should have lost. There's just not many coaches in this league that would be able to take a team with 4 different QBs in 13 games to an 8-5 record. And at this point, now that they have Flacco, I think everyone is going to start to settle in and the offense can be consistent, as long as nobody else gets hurt, because these injuries are quite ridiculous. Talking more about Joe Flacco, it's crazy enough that 2 weeks ago he was chilling at his mom's house watching football, but man, he's been absolutely slinging it, and it's crazy to me that no other teams were looking at him before this. Like, the Jets could have actually been decent with the way that he is playing. Arm talent is just something that doesn't go away, and he hasn't been afraid to step up and make a big throw, and as he gets more comfortable with the different plays and schemes that Stefanski runs, because he does have a pretty complicated offense, he's going to become even better and won't have those silly mistakes. And with the way the Browns schedule is set up, all 4 of the next upcoming games are very winnable, so I think the setup is perfect for Joe to get more and more comfortable and heat up for playoff time. And like I said, the team is going to be playing on house money, and they truly have nothing to lose. As for the injuries, I talked about them in my last video, but it is truly unbelievable how 1 out of every 4 guys on the roster have went out to season enders. Like, at some point, we gotta start looking at the field, or if the trainers are bad or something, because this just isn't possible. But maybe Cleveland is just a cursed sports town, because the Cavs are dealing with a ton of injuries as well. Anyways, for the guys that are healthy, they're going to have to ingrain that next man up mentality, and the Bears game is going to be a tough challenge because we all know that Justin Fields loves to scramble around the field, and they run a lot of screens and plays to DJ Moore. So guys are going to have to swarm to the ball, and hopefully Myles Garrett can make a big play because he is overdue, even though he is always double teamed and held on every play. Like, if the refs properly called the game, I don't know if an opposing team would have over 100 yards in a game this year. To me, as long as Joe Flacco can continue to ball, and guys like Njoku, Cooper, and whatever's left of the offensive line can stay healthy, then I think this team has a real shot to make a run. Because from what I've seen, there isn't like an absolute unbeatable juggernaut team out there right now, and the Browns have already proven that they can beat the Ravens. And I still can't get that picture out of my mind of Joe Flacco going into Baltimore and eliminating them from the playoffs as the 1 seed. But for now, this team just needs to take things 1 game at a time, and we'll go from there. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly means the world. Also, with the NFL season starting to wrap up, there is just so much to talk about right now as we start to approach playoff time. So let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.